This is a very integrated, soulful approach that over the course of time, every day you wake up and you just feel a little bit better.
The Authentic Process Healing Institute is a nonprofit organization that does work in healing and education. But more simply, we do that in community, meaning that there's the community of people is what brings the energy and the spirit to the organization.
The vision of the Institute is to invite ourselves and others to live authentically, being real, just being real, and to create conditions, particularly when we get together in community events, gatherings, so forth, to create the conditions to allow people to let down their guard, to let the everyday world fall aside, so that they can get more comfortable with both with the synergy of the community and with their own inners and how their own inners speak to them in that space once all the conditioned thinking and right and wrong and linearity of the outside world fall aside.
There's a large element of it being peer-led and peer-driven, meaning we interact at a peer level so that there isn't a significant hierarchy and we each participate in each other's process.
I realized after almost 20 years of sitting in room after room, talking to stranger after stranger, rehashing my same problems that I had had, all that got me were the same problems I'd always had, and there was no real sense of release of those issues. And so when I went looking for some other modality, I found the Institute, or the Institute found me. And I can honestly say I was really attracted to what it has to offer, in the sense that it's not talking over the same issues and the same problems and catering to your guilt and your shame or any aspects that might come from sort of a trauma you've had. And the Institute offers a way for your body and your mind to release the issues that I had in not your typical rehashing way. So I wasn't really having to relive it over and over again. It was more of a release from it.
The whole medical approach now is, let's go in and kill a bug or destroy a virus, but really there's a whole lot of negativity that comes with that. And personally, I haven't done so well with those types of strategies.
One of the things that I realized was that it wasn't so much recovery, like in the way that I had identified it, recovery from addiction, drug, alcohol, or anything like that. It was really recovery of opportunities missed, recovery of a sense of wholeness, a recovery of a sense of purpose.
I got involved with the Institute about a year ago. I participated in a workshop that the theme of it was getting unstuck. Everyone who was involved found themselves in a place of transition, or they felt stuck in some area of their lives.
We all have at least one addiction, and that is to conditioned thinking that no longer works for us and is often destructive. And so if we can bring those same tools we're learning from the addictions work over the years to that as well, how beautiful.
Our mission is to share a vision for living holistically. And what we use to share that vision is a tool that developed out of some of the early research of the Institute that is a staged model of recovery.
And the original model of holism was a tree diagram, and we called it the bird's eye view of recovery, where you can see all the layers that one may need to go through to get to what we call the fruits of the tree. And once we're in the fruits of the tree, we're experiencing holism.
So having shown people where we're headed, we then can show you along the trunks of the tree how to get there, the stages that one works their way through to reach this stage of holism. so that we share that vision. But a vision alone is not enough to, to enable a healing. So what we also at the Institute are able to bring to that is a method and a tool for connecting with ourselves more genuinely. And it's a process we call focalizing.
Which is a way to remove blind spots so that we can see things clearer and also resource this whole healing process of the traumas without making a big deal out of them. I mean, it kind of happens naturally and organically, especially in the community environment.
I think focalizing has helped me become more me. It's kind of helped me feel more like I did when I was a kid. I feel more alive, more present, I feel more emotions. And for a while I wasn't feeling anything.
And as a result, I found that I'm more grounded. I'm less blown off course in terms of, unexpected things happening don't jar me as much as perhaps they used to.
It's subtle. You're not being re-traumatized to release a trauma. You're integrating your body and your mind together.
Really breaking down boundaries, getting rid of guilt, getting rid of those kinds of normal stumbling blocks that have really sort of plagued us in the past. And so that's very, very exciting to have this sort of fully integrated and wonderful, rich possibility for love and compassion.
This focalizing technique can set aside all of those things that are between me and who I really am, and can allow that to once again surface. And when it does, there's a wisdom, there's an intelligence, there is just a knowing to that. And it wants to express itself, it wants to be whole. And when it does that and finds its way to the surface, it informs a healing process that just takes a life of its own.
It's also allowed me to become more confident, the possibility of confidence and resilience, and allowing things to just sort of flow. And that sort of energetic flow that kind of goes through the work of focalizing has been really, another example of sort of a possibility that has come through my work in focalizing.
Trying something new can also feel a little bit uncomfortable, and having the Institute and other people around me who are on the same path has definitely helped me to practice and share those new behaviors. And as a result, my relationships, I'm just more assured of myself.
One of the main differences for me about focalizing is that it removes any traces of guilt. Guilt is not a part of the conversation. That's not even a word that's in the vocabulary.
If people could really look at evolution that way, okay, man, somewhere along the line, we got carried away with our thinking mind. We thought it was cool, and like a new toy, and it is. And more we trusted it and relied on it, and gradually it took us away from nature because we were so obsessed with what we were busy creating. So now we realize, okay, we got a little trouble there because we got too far away from nature. How can we reshift or reorient? Can we bring that same perspective to our personal healing? No shame, no blame, just where we are. And how can we now move forward in a way that might be better using whatever resources exist around us? If we can look at evolution that way, and we can look at personal healing that way, that sort of an open loop of energetic and other communications happens that has the real potential of accelerating both, accelerating personal healing and global healing without efforting to do so.